Somebody check the volumes.
Somebody
I'm
check the
I'm
volume.
I'm waiting for
forgot.
Allow me to unmute.
I completely forgot to.
Yeah, the first thing
Okay,
the first thing that was heard was Chavis saying, "I'm gonna check the volume."
Great.
Yeah. Sid,
Superb.
talk.
Excellent. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Second Star Studios production of Injustice.
Injustice.
Rejoin our incredible cast of players heading back to the tropical paradise of Astropor. We are going to do a brief recap. We're going to catch some thoughts and feelings from Jerry on his character, since he was, unfortunately, his character was here during the last session, but Jerry was not, to give us the oh so necessary feedback that we need. And I am not muted.
You're not. I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Mason, why are you laughing at me?
Jonathan, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought Mason was laughing at me like,
No,
by the way,
no, Jonathan's got this little friend that he's just twirling
Is that
around
a
his
Squirtle?
screen. I don't know what it is.
It's a little astronaut android dude. He's sitting next to my walrus for mild amusement. It is a finger puppet walrus that I've had since high school. Don't ask me why I have this. I got it for Christmas.
I think
And
it bears
also
no
next to-
explanation.
Walrus for
Hi,
mild
it's a lot of
amusement is a
stories.
great main name.
Russian nesting doll that goes down to a grain of painted rice.
Do you?
Yeah.
Collect
So
walrus.
Jerry's character.
No, but when I was in high school, for a brief moment, people called me the Walrus because of the Beatles song, because I sang it one time, and everybody was like, "That was really good," and they called me the Walrus, and then they gave me walrus
Ah.
things.
The Wolf Walrus Street.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
The walrus. Good evening, good evening, good evening. So, who would like? It can't be Cameron, because Cameron got the experience points for this last time. Who would like to give us a brief recap on last session to the best of your ability to recall?
I volunteer chair.
You're gonna make all of us do this?
No.
I'll do it.
I could also do it, but
Okay, that sounds like Chavis chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead and
what
give
had
us.
happened was, cut to the scene where we're sitting there getting zapped by the cube thing, getting random powers. We rush to get to the teleportation circle because the water's coming in. Evie does her Hexalin thing and stares at it and freezes up, and we get teleported back to the shop of the Snurson, whose name I cannot remember.
Nikoi.
Nikoi. Once we're in there, we try to leave when we hear some guard people outside coming into Nikoi's shop. There's a bunch of questions asked of Nikoi that we can hear through the wall, like, what's all this magic? We saw it through the lens or the window or something. And he's like, yeah, Captain Theater Talk. What is we're saying, hey, we definitely saw this magic, and Nikoi's like, nah, it's a magic shop, but we didn't like do anything crazy. And then he's like, I don't believe you, but I'm gonna leave now. And so he did. And then we tried to leave, but our exit was covered by like a bookcase or something. So we knocked on the door, and Nikoi lets us out and lets us know that we've been gone for a significant amount of time, and it is now a concerning hour. And so we decide that we need to get the small ones back home, and we also needed to get back home too, because that's going to be a problem.
Very hard.
Small one is crying a lot because the green one used magic, and that's illegal. And so we start to leave, and then you're not gonna believe this. There's freaking ninjas. They like started. They hit Sari, and it hurt a lot. And we started yelling for help, and then help came, and then we ran away, and it was not fun. And everybody's got their little power awakened, and that was neat. So yeah. We also fought a ninja, so like that's
My
pretty
brother
dope
almost
for...
killed me.
Shall we review everyone's powers?
That would be great because I want to put that in my notes.
Sure.
All right, so
So
my
we'll start in
power-
the order they were revealed, so that I can also add that to your recap. While you were in the basement.
My power revealed itself first, I think.
Yes.
Kijani's dead.
Oh, sure, true. You're right.
Technically,
He-
that's true.
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
I've cast the light spell. But you can go ahead, William.
No. That's the better. I forgot. I actually
Sure.
forgot.
So in order, this is 2 sessions ago for those who missed it. Kijani drew upon an innate kind of feeling that he could provide Genevieve, little Evie, with the sight she needed to get us back to Nikoi's shop. He raised his hand, and there was sunlight. Turns out he can do a couple of other things as well that have now been revealed. One of which, as described by our brilliant GM, is similar in effect to Dumbledore using the light switch, where Kijani takes ambient light from around him and solidifies it into any, not any item, but any common item that you can think of, like a shield or a short sword or quarterstaff or rope even. It does emanate light in a 10-foot.
Bright light 10 feet, a dim light for initial
Yeah.
10 feet, yes.
And is notably magic, right? He can also bend light around himself to in almost a Halo-esque active camo fashion, blend in with his surroundings. And that is what Kijani knows he can do so far.
I thought it was that light. He could basically conceal himself because of how bright the light is that he can shine.
No, that is when I said what Kijani was thinking internally, that is what he wanted to happen subconsciously, but instead it manifested itself in the form of a shield that solidified on his arm. Just thinking protection in a way to help.
Yeah, no, the actual ability, that would have been the first ability where the hard light, where he causes
muting
light to
Cameron?
manifest.
Yeah.
The ability he has is hard light, and then also he can create whatever light would come at him bends around him and then meets again behind him, causing him to look invisible to a degree.
Oh, not Wonder Woman, Invisible Woman from Fantastic Four.
If that's how her power works, yeah.
Yep. So that is what.
And then that brings us to Ollie.
Yeah. While scouting out the top of the stairs, my vision became apparent. I have a once an hour ability to see heat signatures, and I can see it through thin barriers as well, so I could see Captain
Theotag.
Firetag.
Yeah, Firetag.
But not Nikoi because of his species. And further realize that my body temperature has raised significantly, and what that means mechanically that has not been truthfully discovered, but will at some point. I am resistant to cold damage. I think that's it.
Yep.
With that, which is that's significant. I just wanted to make sure something else. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes. Yeah. The next player character to discover their traits, I believe, was Shokai. Kai, as the fight with the ninja gentleman broke out, he discovered that he can cause space to kind of slightly collapse in a direction he's trying to head to make everything be just a little bit closer. He can use the warp step ability, and which increases his movement speed and allows him to dash twice. He also has folds of non-Euclidean space around his body that he can pocket things in. Or I shouldn't say pocket, because it could be large things. It's up to 3 bulk of items that are kind of just secreted away in folds of reality. They aren't invisible. From certain angles they can be seen, but they are much easier to hide away, and he could be carrying more than it appears he's carrying, and they don't weigh anything when they're in that extra dimensional space. I believe that Jerry, your character's ability triggered next.
Tofros' ability, he has 2 of them. One, in periods of heightened stress, i.e. when initiative is called, time moves slowly around him, allowing him to move slightly quicker, which gives him a +2 to his initiative item bonus to his initiative. Check. The other one is he has an ability called Borrowed Time, where he can spend an action to get an additional action on his next turn, but on the turn after that he would have 1 less action.
Or he can cause that effect to be on any other creature he can see.
Yeah, yes. And that action could be used for anything. It's not restricted.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. That is.
Yeah, we saw
Tofros'
Chokai
ability.
actually be able to activate 2
I went real fast.
action, the same 2 action cantrip twice in his turn because he was quickened on that round. So he was able to warp step twice.
I think that was all.
Yes, that's it for you.
Yeah.
I believe that Ceres. No. Either Seri or. No, definitely Ceres
Mine, you
was next.
yeah, you told me what mine was like at the end of it. Oh no, because you picked me up and carried me. That's what I
Kai
figured
picked you
out.
up to carry you away. Yes. So you can go ahead and describe your Vertex boon.
So the one that we figured out immediately was that I weigh half as much as I should, or something like that. Like carrying me, it feels like I don't weigh as much.
Mhm.
Mechanically, I could carry a couple, like a 1 or 2 more bulk that I normally should. And I'm also have an immovable trait where I can't be blown back by stuff, and I can't set traps off by walking over them, which is fun.
Yep. And then finally we learned about Vestrin's ability when you went to the temple and had to kind of navigate that social encounter with the priestess at the temple.
Yeah. So I have the Vertex of the Mind, which gives me a +1 item bonus to saving throws against emotion and mental effects. And if I roll a success, I get a critical success instead. And then like the ability is Touch of Obedience, which basically erodes a target's willpower, meaning people are easier to control. So they have to take a will save, and if they get a success, they're stupefied until the end of my current turn. Failure, they're stupefied until the end of my next turn. And critical failure means they're stupefied for a full minute.
And stupefied causes them to take a -1 on will saving throws. So they're basically worse at all future saving throws against mind-altering spells and enthrallment and the like. And then some other roleplay sort of hand-wavy stuff that stupefied just sort of implies, but isn't mechanical. Yeah. So, as Jonathan mentioned, after fighting off the ninja, Eevee did, at the end of that battle, near the end of the battle, Eevee did create a stink bomb and throw it towards the ninja. As the city guards were responding to the ruckus and commotion running forth, it's worth noting that the ninja did attack a city guard outright. It's also worth noting that there was a moment where the ninja specifically chose not to attack Eevee.
I also hit him with his own dagger.
You also
He's a
picked up
little
a
bitch.
thrown dagger, kunai, and threw it back at him. That's true, and hit him with it.
It's a little bitch.
So, as you all made it back to the temple, acquired healing magics via prayer in this world, the city of Astropor, there aren't really, because mortals can't use magic, it's against the law. There are these temples set all throughout the city where anyone who comes to pray to the Sphinxes can receive relatively comprehensive health care for free. And yeah, Jerry, what's up?
You did. We also realized we learned that Nikoi is a Nagaja that's in Astropor because he has a disease.
Yeah, he has
He has
cancer.
cancer.
He has cancer.
This has extended his life.
Yeah, that was an interesting situation.
That is true. Thanks
We-
for reminding me.
We did also learn that a hexaling can choose not to become a witness, and there's a special ritual that has to be undertaken
other
by
witnesses.
other witnesses to have them reach their zenith at
Correct.
100 years when they wouldn't normally.
Right, which is something that will be, you all will be witnessing, no pun intended, if you attend Topheros's uncle's zenith ceremony, which will take place on this very next day. Will, it looks like you have a question.
That's not important, but what is... You don't need to answer it, but... So, Topherus' his uncle, who's his uncle by marriage, right?
Yes.
Correct.
What would his uncle's sister be to... what is the name of that?
I don't know.
That was the thought that I had in my head. That's why I was like, God, this is important.
It's
But
still
thanks
his.
for being curious.
Yeah,
his
I guess it.
Mom?
No.
His
Nope.
uncle's sister? That's still his aunt, by
No,
definition.
but no. But it's your uncle by marriage. He's not related to you except that
It's
you're
it's his mother's sister's husband's sister.
sister. Like
My
it's your
sisters, husband, sisters.
Aunt, sister-in-law.
Husband.
yeah.
Sister. Got it.
Your
Okay.
Mother's sister.
And I am.
No,
my
it's not even your
own
mother's
brand.
sister-in-law.
Your
Yeah, that's
mother's
the-
sister's husband's
Yeah,
sister.
it's your mother. It's your
So my aunt's
your
sister-in-law.
aunt's sister-in-law. Yeah,
Was that,
Yes.
was that your
is
first
the
aunt?
most is yeah.
Your first answer.
That was where I was kind of going with that. I was
Oh.
like, is it? Do you do that with
Second aunt,
aunts?
right?
At least
I don't
two.
know.
He's got at least two aunts at that point. All right, so we are going to hop back into the game tonight as the party has made their way up the steep sloping streets of the First K district.
So if you're tired, it's fine, Sid.
I need to use the sleeps. You have made your way out of the First K and into the Lumen City. This is the large, mostly government building district of the city. This is always very well lit, even at night. There are gas lanterns that are lit all up and down the streets. As you step into this area of the city, it's not like too late, but this isn't kind of the area of a city where you would walk by various taverns and see casual like pubs and that sort of thing. It's much more like as you're walking down, you're seeing well-dressed upper crust people strolling out on a lovely evening after having been to the ballet or the opera, and just walking through the streets of Astropor. The stars wheel above you. It's a perfectly clear night. As the lights illuminate this gorgeous district of the city, all of the buildings are massive limestone constructed buildings. You can see looming over the rooftops of various manor homes and government buildings the enormous dome of the Constellar Court. The dome itself is made of one entire piece of polished pink quartz, and carved into the top of it with gold inlay are the various paths of the celestial bodies, like the paths of the planets as they cross overhead. And the whole thing rotates slightly so that when you look up from within, you can see the sunlight shining from outside during the day, and the thin lines of gold block that light, and you could see the paths of the planets above you, and it would be accurate at that time. It's a true.
What would be the name of
feat
this location again?
That's the building of the Constellar Court. That's where Parliament
Okay.
takes place. Constellar Court is also the name of the governmental body, so it's the building shares its name with the collection of people who work there. The Constellar Court is made up of all of the advocates, all of the witnesses, and the 3 sphinxes. They all technically sit on the Constellar Court. And you can see that building looming in the distance.
Are
very
the
well
Sphinxes
lit
ever
on-
seen? Like, do they
Sure.
actually come to the court? They do? Okay.
On rare occasions, they often abstain from votes and do not. But it's not at all unheard of. Maybe once or twice a year.
Okay, so they have a relatively regular presence. It's not like, oh, the last time they voted was 50 years ago.
No,
and
no, no.
like,
Well, and they often abstain even when
could
they
actually be
when
dead
they
or
come.
something.
But they are seen regularly.
Okay.
I say regularly, like once or twice a year.
Sure.
Technically, under the laws of the way that it's set up, they all have a vote, but their vote is just as much of a vote as any other advocate. It's one vote.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the one thing that can't be like you can't ratify changes to the Triska law. That's like they don't care what you do with all of your laws.
But the real laws.
The 3
Stay the
laws are can't be amended.
I
But
see. There's like the legal code, and then there's the Constitution kind of vibes.
sort of, yes. But
Okay.
they do weigh in on particularly virulent political discourse where where they have strong opinions. It's just been a long time since anything like that's come up. As you're walking through the city of the Lumen City, Evie is, I guess, still holding. Who probably has Evie?
Vesrin had my hand when we left
Okay.
the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Evie.
Evie had Vesrin's hand.
Evie has Vesrin's hand. That's right.
That's more
In the
Probably more
in the way
accurate.
that 9-year-olds do, 7-year-olds do, you have nearly forgotten the trauma of the last several minutes until you think about it, and then it's very traumatic. But while you're walking through the streets, it's like being these are the streets you grew up on. Your parents live here in the Lumen City, and you're kind of leading the way. All of you know where Evie's house is roughly, but she's leading the way here now.
Kijani is still asleep, wrapped around Oli's neck.
It's very difficult to keep a being on your shoulders while they're sleeping, just in case anyone was curious.
Vesrin just looks back and shrugs. Vesrin is going to be keeping a close eye out for any known witnesses, known Hexalins.
Okay. Yeah.
Other than Evie, of course.
Sure. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
You all continue to travel through the Lumen City, past the Consular Court building, past the Hall of Echoes, which is where the witnesses kind of make their that's where their offices are. But this late at night, you don't expect to see any per se. Unfortunately, Evie's house is quite close to the Hall of Echoes.
Fair enough.
You turn down a lane, and this is like, it if you can imagine Cherry Blossom Lane from Mary Poppins. This is just
Cherry tree.
Cherry Tree Lane, thank you, from Mary Poppins. Just a series of homes with this sort of wrought iron black fence picketing out in front. So you head down the lane and turn to a large building that seems to have 4 townhomes in it, like brownstones. They're kind of smaller, but still very swanky. These are like sort of these white stone buildings that are probably 3 stories tall, but very narrow because it's 4 homes in one building. And you go up to one of the middle ones. It's house number 310. And Evie runs right up the stairs and reaches up, kind of tiptoeing a bit to reach up to the handle and turns it. And it's locked.
Oh no. I hope they haven't gone to bed yet. They probably haven't. Daddy's still probably painting, and I think I can smell Mom's baking, so I think they're still up. But my little brother Ozzy might be asleep, so we have to be like really quiet when we go in. And she's gonna turn around and start like knocking on the door.
Wait.
You hear a trundling as the door swings open. A short, wide woman with rosy cheeks, salt and pepper hair pulled back behind her. She has flour on an apron in front of her and like a 18-month-old on her hip who is just conked out, but like right against her. She swings open the door. Evie,
Hi, Mom.
come here, dear. Where have you been? And she.
I was with my friends, and she's gonna turn around and like.
No, it's too late. Your head is just pulled right into her.
bosom.
Yes, and she leans down.
I imagine her arm is still like flailing backwards.
Yeah,
trying to do the
exactly.
thing.
Vesperin sort of smirks and says, "Good evening, Mrs. Dubois. It's nice to meet you. My name is Vesperin."
Oh, Vesperin, I've heard so much about you. Vesperin Quinn, is it? Oh,
Yes,
Well-
ma'am, that's right.
Evie, I wish you had said you were going to be out late. But it seems you keep good company. Any of you fancy a bread roll or something? I might have some pasties in the oven. Come on in then. And she turns around and heads inside.
Vesperin does not hesitate and follows
Yeah.
right behind.
As you head
She is
inside,
going through a growth spurt, so.
it's very evident from the trappings. You look around and the building is immaculate. It's beautiful hardwood floors, crown molding, there's wallpaper. But the things are the things that a family would hang on to if they were accustomed to poverty. Just everything, almost hoarder-like.
Oh, it's like your grandparents who grew up in the Depression and like fold up used aluminum foil and put it in like drawers.
Not quite
No,
like that,
just
but
me?
like
Just me.
No,
Nobody else.
I had that.
Ah.
My
Thing.
grandmother had
It's
That's
like-
a thing,
washed, a washed paper plate drawer.
Yeah. See. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, no, I'm here for it.
no,
I don't use
it's more
paper
like
plates for that reason.
they're like tchotchkes, where you would expect to find in a house like this. From the outside, you would expect to see like sculptures and paintings on the walls, and those would be the decor. In here, there's like clearly hand-carved wooden figurines. There's like an old cuckoo clock. There's quilting everywhere. Quilted sweaters, quilted jumpers, quilted blankets, quilt covers on the furniture. It very much has the impression of like this is not probably a wealthy family, but it's probably
Kinda got
granted
elevated.
the home they live in because the witnesses want Evie under thumb. But as you enter, there is a immaculate dining room immediately off of the main hallway that seems 100% untouched. It's just like it's set, it's dusty. As you head back through and then into another room, you find yourself in the kitchen. There's a huge island, and this is where like the family eats and lives, and there is just chaos. It's organized chaos in the kitchen. There's flour everywhere. You can smell fresh bread as Minnie Dubois heads over to the oven and opens. Reaches in and pulls out a tray of it's like sausage wrapped with puff pastry. This little
Pigs in a
sausage.
blanket.
Well,
Pigs in a blanket.
well, it's not.
It's
not-
Oh God.
We're not gonna
Oh
do this
no!
again.
No, we can't. We have to
Not
go home.
exactly.
We
Not
have to-
exactly.
Did I just
There-
step in
there's a-
something that
Yeah.
I wasn't aware
You
of?
did.
You did.
You did.
Well, no, pigs in a blanket is pancakes, but that's fine. We don't have to argue about it.
Wait, what?
It's okay.
Stop! We have to move on.
We don't have to argue about it. They're just,
Don't give us
it's
the
just
PTSD
pigs
there.
in blankets are with the
Both are
pancakes.
true.
That's
For
fine.
the record, you're
Anyway.
wrong, but that's
No, I
And
thought they were
she
in
puts them
croissant
out.
rolls. Like,
That's
think
what I
you
thought.
We're not.
This is not
we're
like
not doing
okay.
this.
don't need
This
to
is
do it.
not
Not
like
doing
crescent rolls either. This is
Okay,
like
so
this would be like if you had like a strudel, but instead of having like fruit pastry on the inside, it's sausage. It's a sausage pasty.
Oh, like
it's
it's
sausage
flat?
Oh, so like meat pies, kind of.
Okay.
It's very very British meat
Oh,
pie. yeah.
gotcha.
Okay.
Yes.
Not pigs in a blanket.
Slits across the top. Yeah. No. It's not like link sausages that you then put pancakes around. No, it's not like that at all. So she pulls them out
Why
and
would
she.
you do that? That's not
I
a
don't
thing.
know why you would, but that's sounds like that.
South Carolina education system seems to think that's a thing.
And she one at a time puts them onto a wire rack to cool. So, okay, give those just a moment, all right?
Steven has already reached for one and is eating it.
It's so hot.
Very
It's-
hot.
I think that Oleander has as well, but hasn't reacted to it.
And like with a mouthful of burning pastry, Evie's gonna be like, Mama is the best cook around, but sometimes she bakes when she gets stressed and our house fills up with goodies and we can't eat them all. So you guys should really help yourself to like anything that you see here.
Oh, Evie. But
Hey,
really though, you're
Miss-
welcome to anything. Anything at all you see. It's just sort of
Hey, hey, Miss D. This is. Did you? Oh yeah, no, that's the kind of guy that Oleander is. Did any chance that anyone like was interested in like? Did you talk to anybody about her not being here? Like, have you reported that to? Is that like a?
Oh no.
Just curious. Okay,
Haven't had
Okay.
anyone come by and ask.
good. I'm glad we got her. Got her back before there was.
Oh,
I apologize
dear.
again.
Ozzy has now spit up on her apron. Oh, Ozzy dear. All right, help yourselves. Give those a couple minutes to cool, and she will bustle off.
I've already eaten 2.
Yep.
Vezrin
up the
whispers to
stairs.
Ollie. Ollie, everyone knows they have to be missing for 24 hours before you can report them.
I like specifically feel like that's not true.
Johnny is awake and like looking over Ollie's like head now, and when you say that, he kind of ducks down a bit.
For our Twitch audience, that's not true. You should report missing persons as soon as you want to. Just to clarify.
As soon as you
It's the
want
bunk
to.
table.
As soon as you want to. I mean, I guess
Like,
probably
you're
before
the
24
smart
hours.
one, but that seems like a bad idea, Kestrin.
Right off of the kitchen towards the back room, there's what probably would have been like a sunroom if this house were had people in it who cared about entertaining. But you can see through the cracked French doors, double doors. There is a room where there are lanterns set up, and it's like an explosion of art supplies in there. There's an easel up. There's a man kind of crouched over it. He's kind of a very narrow, almost kind of gaunt man. He's got scruff for a beard, and he's got a pair of paintbrushes behind his ear, and he's just staring at a almost blank canvas. It's got like a couple of sketches on it, and he's just staring at it.
Evie's gonna go get a plate and start putting on some of the pastries and get like 8 cookies and put cookies on the plate and anything else that she would want to eat. And she's gonna like skip over and be like, Papa, my friends are here. Do you want to come say hi?
Oh, Genevieve, my dear, I'm very busy right now. Yes, of course. Yeah, come here. And he'll stand up and
Come
walk
see.
across.
She's she's gonna like hold the plate and like drag him into the kitchen.
Oh, I see you have brought me 8 cookies. You know that normal people don't eat 8 cookies all at once, Genevieve.
I know, but I really wanted 8 cookies, so I thought maybe you would want.
How about you have 2 cookies and I will put the rest away.
How about
now,
3.5?
How
3.5.
about 2.5?
3.
How about 2.5?
2 3/4.
Done. And he splits a quarter off of one and passes you to you. You must be Genevieve's friends. I have heard so much about you. Excellent to meet you. It's quite late, is it? No?
It's
Yeah,
very-
we were just out playing and we lost track of time. But we're here now and we were
Genevieve.
kind of hungry. I know, but it was fine. Nothing even happened. And
Make a
Sarah,
make a
his eyes
deception.
get big.
Make a deception check.
While this is going
Kijani
on,
is like
can I
fighting
snap?
back
oh,
tears.
yeah. Can I?
You're
can I
gonna
try
have
to
a
steal
minus
the,
1 penalty for trying to lie to your dad.
okay, hold on.
Can I try to steal the quarter of the cookie?
Make a sleight of hand.
I'm not good at this.
I'd like to make the argument that lying to your dad should be actually a bonus, not a.
Not
a
when you're
deficit.
7.
Depends on the dad.
Not when you're 7.
I don't
Not
know.
when you're
When I was 7, I was not
Tell you-
very honest.
There was no way I was going to record right when I was a kid, so
Oh, I have to come over here to see how you did.
yeah, I have no
Great.
idea.
Okay, yeah, he seems to be so distracted from. He's just only barely listening. Not barely listening, but like is taking you at your word. And Oleander, you easily grab this piece of cookie.
Mhm.
Though to be fair, no one would have stopped you.
Yeah. And now I'm holding it like behind my back and trying to like show Evie that I have it for her.
Oh, okay. Well, you have interrupted my work, but it is a fine place to stop. It's probably time we all went to bed, no? It's such a pleasure to meet you. Please help yourselves.
Wonderful to meet you too, Mr. Dubois.
What are you working on?
My latest masterpiece. It's going to be a picture of a beautiful woman, thin and, well, it's going to be beautiful.
Papa is the best painter around, and everybody hires him to do portraits.
Now, Genevieve, I am a
That's
modest
absolutely
portrait
true. You are the
artist.
best painter around.
I am the best painter in the house right now. I can say that with confidence.
Ollie sucks at painting.
Kijani, like a kid who doesn't know anything
Hey.
about social structure, lifts his head over and goes, "Does her being thin make her more beautiful, or is that just a piece that you wanted to add to the sentence?"
I'm sorry?
Her being
Bezrin is in the
thin.
middle of eating a meat pie and like chokes on it.
Like, I noticed that your wife is not very thin, so...
Kijani.
Oh, I
this
know.
is very
I
clearly
feel that.
No, this is Dubois.
Go from the blast.
At this point,
Sarah
Minnie
Dren
comes.
sinks towards the back door.
At this point, Minerva Dubois comes down the steps and kind of wraps her arms around Jacques, Mr. Dubois, and leans into him and kisses him on the cheek. And he smiles. It's a very warmly
Genuine.
received gesture. Oh, Minerva, my dear. Mwah. I think it is time we all went to bed, no? Is Ozzy down for the night? Yes. Just gotten down.
Oh, you weren't talking about me. I get it. Sorry.
No, she did say
I
Ozzy,
mean-
not Ozzy.
No, I
Oh.
saw.
Ozzy, okay.
Sorry. That was the. Yeah. Never mind. I still misheard.
Do you all have quite a long way to go to get home?
Oh no, that's it's going to be fine. We'll
I do not
make
really
our
know
own
where
way.
we are.
I know
I'm
where
certain
we are.
we could call for an escort. It's dark out there.
It's quite all right.
I
This
live
is-
down by
this-
the quay.
Johnny, we got you. You're fine.
Okay.
Basically, anytime we ring this little bell, the witnesses come running. They think it's some kind of
Yeah,
murder.
that's fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
That won't be
Fine.
necessary.
They are very
We're
good
just some
at
kids.
navigating safely and will be home soon. Don't worry, Mom.
We're just some kids. The witnesses don't need to be bothered.
It's
Oh, yeah,
it's
we
quite
got
alright.
her-
All right, dearies. Well,
Again,
to see you walk
completely
off alone.
oblivious, Kijani goes, "We have the white ones now. We do not want to see."
Shut.
Mrs. Dubois, this was a game that we were playing. It's actually part of the reason for Evie's tardiness. I apologize.
well, she'll have to tell us all about it.
I'm certain that she will. We'll take our leave now. Thank you so much for the baked goods.
Oh,
but
please,
we've
please
disturbed
take
your
something
evening.
with you.
That's
Take,
all.
and she runs over and grabs a paper bag. And she puts 2 baguettes, a couple of sausage
Just 2 whole
pasties.
loaves of bread.
Yeah, a couple of those sausage pasties. And she's like, oh, and she runs over and lifts up a glass container off of a tray full of cinnamon buns, and she begins wrapping those up. And some of these then, and that should do you for. All right, now
Kijani
travel
will whisper
safely.
in Ollie's ear. "Do you
Vesrin
think that she
takes
has
the
any
bag.
sunny drink?"
No. Vesrin takes the bag and does a little like half curtsy, half bow sort of gesture, and starts heading towards the front door.
All right, yeah. You make your way down the long hallway past the untouched dining room.
I walk up to Evie and do a very formal like polite goodbye and pass off the quarter of the cookie in my hand there. Like in a way that probably makes you mad. I would probably even call you Genevieve just because I know it's gonna make you mad, but I also give you a cookie. So
She's like, wait, oh, and she'll give an extra squeeze.
All right.
Evie.
Yeah.
So you know how we are trying that new style? That
Yeah.
new style where we pull our collars up?
Mhm.
If I were to hold it like these, do you think that it makes sense? Do you think my uncle would notice that new style?
I think if we get you something to make sure it stays up, like something smart, like a bow tie or something, then I think it'll look great.
A brooch.
Yes.
Nope.
I don't know. No,
Like the way what brooches be.
But yeah, Tobers,
So,
you'll
just something that would button
Oh,
this
it's not
here.
that.
It'll
It is a
button
little
that.
bit brisk out there tonight. Here, dearies. And she bustles forward into a room across from that unused dining room. There's like a little parlor, and she just begins throwing knitted scarves at you. Here, what? Wrap up.
Right. Oh, that was more. Thanks. Okay.
You guys live in like a
Alright.
tropical paradise.
So much.
There's
Yeah.
no
Thank you
reason
so
to own scarves at any time of year at all.
We said we wanted a scarf, but
Johnny's
that's all
like
she needs
wrapped
to hear.
in the scarf.
These are like it's clear these were made when at a time in her life when like yarn was hard to come by. There's some scarves that like one color of yarn ends and she just picks up with a new color. It's just completely random. But you guys have about 6 scarves now knitted.
Fantastic.
Handmade, custom made
Mm-hmm.
From Mama.
from the loom of Mrs. Dubois.
As you step out onto the streets of Lumen City, she waves from the door. All right, dears, do be careful.
Evie has another cookie somehow.
Evie, it occurs to you to ask when you're supposed to catch up with him for the Zenith ceremony tomorrow.
Oh, she'll run down the steps really quickly and pull on, I guess Ollie probably. When do we get to play again tomorrow with the thing? We know?
The Zenith. When is that? Do we know?
Yeah, so we can do a brief above table cultural thing. That's something that all of you would be aware of. Generally, when someone is having their Zenith ceremony, it's a kind of an all-day picnic. They go out to the Starlight District. They set up. They bring a special incense that they have chosen specifically, and they light that incense and they sit. And all day long, people bring them drinks and food and come to chat with them and just have final moments with them. It's customary to bring a piece of fine paper and you would bring that to the person who is having their zenith ceremony, and that person would waft that paper through their incense so it has the scent that they have chosen, and they would write a note to you on the paper you brought and fold it up and hand it back. And that's just kind of an all-day affair. It's not until is it midnight or sundown? Must be midnight.
I think I remember you saying midnight at some point in our
it would be
briefings.
midnight that the zenith actually occurs naturally for many people who are under the Triska law, but in this case for Atticus it will be a ritual performed by other witnesses for him to ascend into the stars. But generally there's only a couple people that it's kind of considered that as the day goes on, you kind of have to guess how important. There's kind of a social thing. You have to guess how important you think you are to the person, because the time of day that you show up shows how important you think you are to them. If you're like a work friend, you would show up at like 8 a.m. and stop in and have your moment.
Hey, I'm going to work. Nice to see you.
It's
Bye.
good to see you. Good luck. Bon voyage. You know.
Goodbye forever.
If you were like, a long-standing work friend, you've worked with them for years, you might come around noon or 1 or 2. But like generally, family members and very close friends will come later in the day and stay for longer and be there through the end. So, back on table.
Would Evie have to be back above table? Would Evie have to be there for an extended period, even though she's not a practicing witness? Does she have any kind of like?
No. Not even all
good.
of the witnesses will be there, because simultaneously to the zenith that Atticus will experience, across town in the consular court, Phoebe, Atticus's twin, will be taking up the stole of becoming the youngest witness. Their witnesses will need to be there for that ceremony as well. So it's usually not a full-blown thing. It's just required that a couple of witnesses attend to do the ritual. It's not going to be all the witnesses by any means. And it's also common, so like in this case, Tofros is going, but it's common for that person to bring their own moral support. Maybe not go up and see Atticus if you don't know Atticus. Don't take up his time from the people that he knows and loves, but you might come to just support Tofros. And it takes place in, like I said, in the Starlit District. It's a beautiful gardens that is manicured for this purpose. It's called the Starlit District because every night there are at least every night there are a couple of zeniths going on. As people, a city of this size, there are people ascending every night. And the aurora of their light ascending to the heavens causes this. It's like a show. It's like a light show. It's seen as a very stoic, solemn, but peaceful place.
Tofros, what time would you like us to meet you in the Starlight District tomorrow?
Nine, I suppose.
I
Wait,
groan
in
very
the
heavily.
morning or at night?
That's the first day of. Yeah, no. I want to support my friend. Yeah, 9's good. 9's good. You're worth it. Sorry.
Ollie,
Can I talk-
I'm assuming he means in the evening.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Being
Yes,
as he is
Wait.
Family.
the nephew.
So, like, now? For tomorrow? When. Okay.
So a full day from right now.
24 hours.
I didn't
Okay.
want to assume that it was
Yes.
a 24-hour day cycle.
That would be
but
so complicated to
Yeah.
manage. I'm just not here for it.
the day is 40 hours long. Good luck, fuckers.
But hours are only hours are
No,
only
let's not do
40
that.
minutes.
15 minutes.
It's still the same time period.
Yeah.
It's still the same amount of minutes overall. but-
40. It's 48 hours in a day, but every hour is only 30 minutes long.
that tracks.
Tofros, do you have
Yes.
your paper? that you'll take to your uncle?
No.
We'll get that for you tomorrow.
Yeah, I
Okay,
imagine
I'll
this
see
is
you guys
also.
this time tomorrow.
I imagine this is
Perfect.
also when some of you are gonna head separate ways as to get from here to the various places where you live. I'm not sure exactly, and I'm sure you don't either because we haven't been over the very in-depth sort of gazetteer sort of description of every place you could live in the city. But as you all kind of head off to your various homes, Kijani lives down in the first case. Someone will have to escort him home.
Yeah, I
That's
will.
when-
Please do that. The other thing that might have suggested is that if we wanted, I think that Ganyan lives down there too, probably close by where Kijani lives, because that's kind of how they know each other. Yes.
No, Ganyu knows my mom because she's a groundskeeper at the
No.
school.
So
Okay.
yeah, right now Ganyan lives at the school. His
Got
family
it,
is
got it.
from outside of the Astropolis.
Okay.
He will be
Never
going.
mind.
You all could go to the school if you have, if like, but many of you
Uh,
have
it was-
homes here in
Yeah.
in the Astropolis.
Yeah, I was just if that would have been
Yeah.
might have been like I think that we will probably upper middle
Yeah.
class probably for me. So, but I'll still as the one that attached to
Kijani right now. Okay.
and the one that I think that has younger siblings too. That he like. That's kind of like the role he's kind of taking sometimes with this group.
All right. As each of you returns to your homes, Tofros, when you arrive home, there's a bunch of like food and stuff that's been left off here for your aunt. Much like when someone has a funeral, it's just customary to send food. Yeah, but it's got a much more, like I said, much more of a levity around this scenario than a funeral. It's just that it's also a case where the surviving spouse will not want to be spending their time cooking. They'll want to be tending to things. So as you step in off the stoop, there's just boxes of things that have been delivered. It's a quiet evening in your home. Everyone has mostly gone off to bed. You can see your uncle is in his sort of like red velvet robe, sitting in his armchair in front of the fireplace. He has a book half opened on his lap, but he is passed out. He's fast asleep in the chair.
I will put the scarf. Make sure the scarf is secured firmly around my neck.
Mhm.
And I'm going to go wake him up.
Okay. He looks up at the clock on the mantle in the bed. Tofros, rather late, isn't it? Everything all right?
How can you sleep so peacefully right now?
We've talked about this, my boy. There's nothing but peace. Why the devil are you wearing a scarf? It must be 90 degrees out there.
My friends and I have decided that this is what we're going to start wearing. It's a friend group thing. I don't know. They just told me to start wearing it.
And you decided to start this fashion at the beginning of the summer. You're gonna be miserable. You'll give up on it 3 days in. Mark my words.
It would be great if you would be able to be there long enough to see it.
Come on then. Off to bed. And he'll stand up, put his bookmark in, fold the book, and put it down on the table. He'll close the glass in front of the fireplace so that the fire is starved of oxygen slowly begins to go out. And he walks with you upstairs. And he goes into the bedroom. He kind of holds you, kisses you on top of the head. Sleep well, my boy.
Tofros goes in his room, closes the door, and in the least weeping one could do. It's one of the things where, like, I think it's a situation because he's recently dealt with so much loss that, like, it's like if you try to cry but the tears don't come type situation.
Mm-hmm.
But he just eventually falls asleep.
All right. Yeah, as Kijani gets home, your household is still somewhat of a bustle. Having so many siblings, some of them in their kind of younger night owl phases. As you head into the like hollow where you live, your parents have gone to bed. But there are still people up. You've got a pair of siblings playing card games.
Kijani gets down off of Ollie's neck and looks up at him and like gives him a little tug. He's not talking right now, but he's like way too tired, and in that like delirious phase where he doesn't really know what's going on, but he like kind of tugs on Ollie to like come down to his level.
Ollie, that's you, Will.
Sorry.
No worries.
Tugs on him to come down to his level.
Yeah. What's up, bud?
And he just gives him a hug around the neck.
I give him like the best big brother hug you can, because it's been a rough day. It's like, hey.
I kind of want Will as my big brother because he's like stealing cookies for people and giving bear hugs and like carrying me home at night. Like,
I'm the little brother, so I'm just trying to figure it out.
And Kijani says, before, like in a really hushed tone before he goes to sleep, he's like, I really hope that we don't get in trouble, but if we do, thank you for watching over me. And then he'll turn around and like,
Wait. Just don't talk about what we like everything that I got mad at tonight. You know, like don't talk about the callers. Don't talk about that. We'll come make sure that you're covered up and make sure that you don't have anything to worry about tomorrow.
He's still mostly scarfed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's such a big scarf on you.
Mostly
like-
scarfed is my new favorite condition for Pathfinder.
New condition, mostly scarf. Yeah.
Tell your mom, tell your parents where you got the scarf from. They're gonna love it, and that's all they're gonna say. Promise.
And you like see the oldest of Kijani's siblings has noticed that he's gotten home and has like come to the door to greet him, and Kijani just turns around, sees him, and then like almost as if that is his father, the oldest sibling will like nod to you and turn around and just start walking, and in stride Kijani is like climbing up his legs, up his back, and is like already asleep on his back.
Yeah. Perfect. Kai and Vesrin, you guys will kind of be booking it back up to the Ridgeline District together. Since Kai, I imagine you're sleeping at the school.
Yeah, I'm staying at the school.
Yeah. And that's where Vesrin's family mansion is as well, up in the Ridgeline District. And then, Sari, would you have split off after Evie's house to like someplace a little bit localer to the Lumen City, or would you have walked all the way back down? You and Ollie are going to a similar neighborhood, ultimately, but
Yeah, I would have stayed with Ollie and Kijani until it made sense to split.
yeah,
I might not
all
have
right.
made it all the way to Kijani's, but
Sure. Well, no. So you would have, if you stick with them, you're gonna walk all the way back down to the first K where you guys came from, basically, and drop Kijani off, and then come back to basically very close to where Evie's house was. Cause
nah, I would have left after Evie's house.
okay, yeah, all right, cool. Anything roleplay wise when you arrive home with your family?
I don't know. I don't know my.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I don't know.
No problem. Yeah, I don't want to do that yet. because this happened all out of order for me. Okay, skipping ahead. Ignore I said anything. So Kai and Vesserin are walking to the cable cars, the cable gondolas, up to the Ridgeline district. And you get on one of the cars. It's just heading up the way, and it's just the two of you, kind of sitting in silence, rocking back and forth as you look out the glass on the sprawling city of the Astropolis. There comes a point near the zenith of the cart's path when you can see so far that you can see all the way from the God's Eye Bay to the Cerulean Sea on the other side. It's just not, the peninsula's not that wide. Hold on. Barely through, as you're climbing up this mountain, basically, barely between the peaks of these other mountains, you can see all the way from the God's Eye Bay to the Cerulean Sea on this side.
Oh, interesting.
This is just not, it's not terribly wide. There's a lot of landmass in Astropor because it's so spread out. But it's a pretty small space if you're high enough. And as the sun has well and truly set and the stars are wheeling above, it's just a beautiful view to see the land speckled with the street lights, and you can see the great pinkish dome of the Consular Court building, always illuminated in the middle of the Lumen City. The three spires of the Sphinxes, marble columns, raising up impossibly high, higher than any man could have built them, and at their peaks you can see barely the silhouettes of the Sphinxes. So you step out.
Wait, above table, they just sit up there?
Yep.
Like all the time? They just like hang out up there? They're just like
Basically.
just chilling?
Theoretically.
I mean, that's fine. I just like that.
Well, they aren't always up there, but they're up there right now.
That's like, what if they fall off?
They would have to fly, I guess.
Do they have wings?
Yeah,
Do Sphinxes
careful
have
not.
wings?
There's Sphinxes.
Yes.
Be careful not to break their nose because it might just fall off.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
Unfortunately.
They have.
Do all
yes,
of them
the
have
Sphinxes-
intact faces?
They all have intact faces, yes. The Sphinxes have wings, lions' bodies, eagles' wings, humanoid faces.
That's what I was missing. Got it. Okay. Then I'm sure they're not worried about it. That's probably how they get up there, actually. They can climb.
Posey, stop
Wait,
eating Eris'
wait,
food.
Well
wait,
done,
wait a
Cameron.
second. Are
Well
you just
done.
speaking? Okay.
It's like, are you imagining their scratching posts saying,
Have
on
you
the
ever
marble?
played like Magic the Gathering together and played any Sphinxes?
No.
Sphinxes? I just
No.
said Sphinx.
My conception of a Sphinx is
That of Egypt, yes.
there are two. One is, as previously mentioned, a stone colossus with its nose ripped off.
Shot
The
off,
other-
actually, by Nazis.
Yeah. The other is a chain of gas stations in South Carolina.
Right.
Known for their chicken.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Chimkin.
Stuart Sphinx.
Sphinx.
I've never heard of these.
Chimkins.
Because they're making life easier.
Yes.
Oh.
That's what.
Anyway.
That's what the Sphinxes do. True.
That's what
Doesn't
they
happen.
say. Anyway, well, for 100 years.
Right.
That was dark.
Right.
Um,
It's more than a lot of humans get.
Yeah, and half of us aren't human.
It's true.
I'm not a government.
None of us are human.
I'm not a government drone. Evie is human.
Vesserin just kind of looks out over the.
Evie is the only
city.
human.
And also the one that's gonna live forever.
Yeah. Ironic.
Mhm.
Vesserin looks out over the lit up city and just kind of sighs.
Mm.
Like this is like single-handedly her favorite view in the entire city is like coming up on the cable car and looking out over everything kind of lit up, the dome of the consular court. She is a little disappointed that we missed sunset because she likes the sunset over the Cerulean Sea and the glimpse of it that you catch at the peak of the cable car. But you know, this isn't half bad.
Yeah, as you reach the top two, you can see the massive bronze reservoirs that catch spring water that come off of the Ridgeline District's springs and are constantly oscillating, dropping water and filling up. It's the weight of this water oscillation that drives the cable cars. So you get out. At the top, there's a single sort of lamp, candelabra, street lamp. There's an attendant for the cable cars. He's half asleep. So you step out into the Ridgeline District. It's quiet up here. Most of the socialites who are down in the Lumen City it's still people are either in for the night or they're out carousing. This is kind of that time of night where there's not a lot of activity up here in the residential mansion sort of district.
Did you just say it's quiet uptown?
Yeah.
It's quiet uptown.
I wasn't gonna do it, but now I have.
We were all there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Vezrin
Dealing with the unimaginable.
I mean,
In fact, it has been
yeah,
imagined. Specifically has been imagined.
You are dealing with the explicitly imaginable.
Vezrin looks at Kai. Is the school in the same direction?
No, this would be the point where the school is actually near the ridge itself, near the cable cars. So he's going to head off towards the east to the right at this point on this path, and head up to the grounds of the Luniversity, and you'll be heading westward and further up the mountain for a ways to
Perfect.
the
I just
Queen
didn't want to do that awkward
household.
thing where we say bye and then walk the
Yeah,
same
right.
direction. Just
Bye, see you later.
it's the fucking worst. So awful.
For sure.
I did that the other day. I was really sad.
So Vesrin looks at Kai and says, "Well, safe journey back to the school. I will see you tomorrow, I suppose."
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow. Kai leads.
All right.
Vesrin turns around and starts walking off.
All right. Ollie, when you get home, there's only one, the manservant butler answers the door. Master Oleander, your grandfather is already gone to bed. Please come in.
That sounds about right. Alright, I come in.
He closes the door behind you. And then kind of vanishes into the shadows. He has specifically
I go to
said
ask
before,
if my
I'm not a
sisters are
babysitter.
asleep. Yeah. Fair enough. That's, you know what? And I respect him for that.
You've got the house to yourself, and it's just quiet. You hear a grandfather clock ticking away in the parlor. I want to point out, not to break in on your moment here, but I'm making a point to kind of illustrate that there's technology in Astropor. A need that is met in other regions of the world with a magic, like automatically knowing the time of day, requires machinations in Astropor, and so such things exist. Clocks and gas lines under the streets to light the street lamps, and that sort of level of technology is, and it's uncommon elsewhere in the world.
I think that Oleander just bathes and tries to cool down, because he doesn't feel hot, but he knows based on interactions that
Yeah.
either the adrenaline is still pumping and he doesn't know what's going on. He's trying to just cool off and then go to bed as well.
The scarf is uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, no,
It's
that's gone. That was gone pretty quickly.
All right. Perfect. Vesrin, what happened to Tofros? Jerry?
What do you mean?
Oh, you're frozen.
What do
Is
you
he?
mean?
No, he's talking.
You're frozen on stream. Hold on.
On stream.
Turn off your camera and turn it on for me. I'm sorry.
Take a screen grab.
Grab, screen grab. It would be just me, and I'm not gonna do it. Sphinx of the Second Son. Ugh, the worst.
Yeah, for real.
Am I still frozen?
No, you're good now. Sorry. Siri. Oh no, we've already done Siri. Where are we at? Vesrin. As you arrive back at the Quinn estate, you walk up. A guard lets you in past the wrought iron gates. It's still a good 10-minute walk through the grounds, down the
Good
paved
evening,
path.
office.
Good evening, Miss Quinn. You know it's quite late.
It's all relative. There are people who haven't even achieved their zenith this evening.
Fair enough.
She keeps walking.
You'll catch an earful at the house.
Well, only if Mother's still around.
That's vaguely threatening.
As you take another 10 minutes walking through the grounds, down the gravelstone path, and eventually approach the massive white stone mansion through the carefully curated gardens of the Quinn estate. Make your way around the fountain roundabout out front and in through the massive oak doors. Hard to tell who's still awake when you step into the Quinn mansion because it's so big. But there is a maid briskly moving through the foyer with some sheets over her arm, and she's... Oh, Bess, Miss Vesrin.
Good evening, Ariadne.
Bed.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I thought you were already in
started-
bed.
No.
Well, your mother's
Is
in
there
the
anything
study.
I can do to help you, Ariadne?
Oh no, thanks, miss. All set here. Just changing the sheets in the guest bedroom. Supposed to have an ambassador here tomorrow. So, on your best behaviour.
Which ambassador?
One of the advocates from Manapriet.
Ah, I see.
It's a city on the far side of the cove of the Spiral Sea.
Gotcha. Which
Like
Vesrin
over-
would know, but
Yes.
I'm assuming. Like
Yes.
over here somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, wonderful. When are they due to arrive?
Oh, when they get here? It's supposed to be tomorrow.
Thank you.
Hard to really pin down sailing traffic, isn't it? Or so they tell me.
I
Midday,
suppose-
maybe? Got to get going.
Vesrin makes a mental note to be well and gone of the house by midday.
Okay. All right. And Ariadne purposefully walks off towards the guest wing.
I continue to try to. I'm not sneaking, but I'm definitely trying to not make it very obvious that I'm just getting home.
Sure. With very little effort. You could basically walk through the whole house as long as you don't step into your mother's study without being noticed. You even pass by the study and peek in, and she has just got scrolls laid out in front of her. She's standing over it, palms down. And you pass by and continue up to your bedroom.
As I see that sort of scene, I kind of look in. I clear my throat briefly to see if she looks up.
She Bestrin, darling.
Good evening, Mother.
Good evening. Oh, I'm sorry, while you're there, I asked for a bowl of rice probably 20 minutes ago. Could you run and check on it in the kitchen for me? And she leans back down. You know good and well that if you never brought the rice, she would not notice. She's just...
Yeah. I continue walking towards
Okay.
my room. And I sort of just kind of roll my eyes and head straight to my bedroom.
Kai, as you arrive back on grounds of the university, it's like, you know, like a university at night, but on the first day of summer. Children who have a place to be, students who have a place to be are gone. So it's very ghost towny. You can hear cicadas chirping in the foliage, the grounds, as you walk into the main square, the quad, the kind of columned barrier all around that central lawn. Kind of just walking through. Gas lanterns light the long corridors. Make your way up into the tower where the dormitories are, and to your little bitty bedroom. Trying to quietly head inside. Anything you want to do?
Kai's just gonna kind of take it all in. Anticipating that things are going to probably change for the worst.
It's probably about 10 minutes after you head into your room that there is an erratic, first a jiggling at your handle as if someone just tried to walk right into your bedroom, and then an erratic knocking. Kai! Kai! Is that you?
Yeah, come on. I get up and go unlock the door, swing it open.
Ganyan
Hey.
puts both hands
Yeah.
around your head. What the damn hell?
Yeah,
Where is everyone?
yeah, some
Are
shit
you
happened.
alright?
We're all fine.
Did you go for a swim?
Uh,
Found a tunnel? What the hell? We couldn't find you.
Yeah, it was weird. There's like a
There's like-
teleporter in that dude's basement. So we kind of got like warped, and then we got warped back. But hours had passed, even though it was normal for us. Nothing really happened, but
You're talking nonsense. That's
Yeah,
gonna show you
I
some
know.
my comic books.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay, alright. Yeah, Nikolai and I went down there. There wasn't anything.
Yeah, except maybe some very peculiar markings on the floor.
No way, he said that'd been there forever. He's never
Yeah.
been, what do you call it, warped away?
Well, I don't know
Well,
what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It's not like I warped us. Like, what do you mean?
everyone's safe though. Everyone got
Yeah,
warped.
everybody's fine. Everybody's home, and as long as me and Vestrin split off from Ollie and just
Sarah.
Ollie? Or did
Johnny.
And Kijani, yeah.
Well, yeah, but we took all of them home. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whoever split, I described that perfectly.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, as long as everybody walked home safely after we broke up from the group, we're fine.
This is nuts. This is just nuts.
Oh yeah, there was also, yeah, we got attacked by somebody.
Like one of the gangs. Like a gangster.
It was a ninja. He's throwing like kunai.
He leaves.
Yeah, I know.
He comes back no less than a minute and a half later with a stack of comic books and throws them at your feet. Are you high as fuck? The very top one has like a ninja on it, and then like the one underneath it is like teleporters and like. What have you been smoking, Kai?
We had to go to the. We had to go to the fucking temples.
Like the Sphinx temples.
Yes, Sari fucking got like a whole ass kunai
I was missing an arm.
Kajani's arm was like
Seven.
falling off.
This is crazy. All right,
Yes.
we have to get everyone together. Let's go round them up. All I need a debrief. We'll talk about it. Make sure everyone's safe and all right.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow. We've had a long day.
You had a long day. I spent the last
Yes.
6 hours scouring the city for you.
I am very thankful for that, and appreciative, and glad that I have a good friend like you. However, we were actually attacked by a murderous ninja and barely escaped with our lives, and 2 of us nearly died. I kind of just want to go to sleep.
Yeah, all right. But tomorrow, first thing.
Yeah, that sounds great. That really does. Maybe I can wake up and it's all a dream, you know? Maybe I was just really fucking high. That would be great.
Maybe I'm just really fucking high.
Are you holding out on me, you motherfucker?
Well, no. I'm only mildly high. All right, first thing in the morning.
Alright.
He leaves, closes the door behind him,
Hey, you forgot your fucking comic
comes
books,
right
man.
back, and gets bent down and starts scraping up. Like, oh, fuck it. He reveals accidentally that like one of them is like a porno mag. It's like, oh fuck.
Clearly.
Right.
Yeah, have a good night, bucko.
Close the door. All right.
And I'll just go lay down.
All right. And with that, everyone's gonna take a long rest. This is an important time to talk about. I don't think it really matters
Leveling
here,
up
but it might.
one.
No. I don't think it really matters here, but important time to talk about Pathfinder's long rest system. When you take a long rest in Pathfinder, you do not automatically regain all of your hit points. You regain a certain number of hit points. So it's very important in Pathfinder when you're managing your day-to-days and to like actually keep track of trying to heal people up using medicine checks and spell slots and potions if necessary. Once we get to the adventuring part of this adventure, because you don't automatically just get all your hit points back when you long rest, and there are no
we
hit
were
die.
healed at the temples, right?
You were, and you and you will, while you're an Astropor, always have that option.
And also, healing can be done non-magically relatively easily
Yes, with
If
medicine
you're-
checks.
prepared for it and trained in that.
All right, and that brings us to dawn on the following day. Who wants to start us out?
In 3013.
I'll start
do
us
we-
out.
We don't have school.
Correct. I think that we're going to be interrupted by Ganyan gathering us.
Yeah, I'm happy to do this in order whenever, but I am definitely going to wake his ass up the same way he like was knocking on my door last night. I'm gonna walk just like.
Okay, sure.
So that
we'll
doesn't
let,
have to be
we'll let
now.
Siri
That's
start
somebody
out.
else.
Yeah.
So Sari will get up and put on a fresh cloak, fresh robe, tunic thing, and he will go and the first thing he does is go and knock on his father's study to see if he's in there.
Your father is so. What day of the week is this? This would be Saturday. Hell, there are only 6 days of the week. So it's Hell's Day. Sorry, we should talk about that. There are 6 days of the week. You can call them by number. I don't care. The days kind of count down in magnitude from heavens to hell. So it's Heaven's Day, Stars Day, Sun's Day, Moon's Day, Earth's Day, and then Hell's Day. Like cosmically zooming in.
It does bother me just a little bit. You picked a Sun's Day, but I understand like the logic behind it. It's just
And
like
Sun's Day is yes,
or,
and
like-
Sun's Day is technically Tuesday.
it's Tuesday.
Yep.
We play on Sun's Day.
I feel like Sun's like that's the day that it's every other day actually has a parallel. That day is the two
Is
that are
it
smashed.
technically Tuesday? It's not Wednesday. Does the week start
That's-
on
that's what
Sunday
I-
in your head?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Heaven's Day would be our Sunday.
Okay.
It's a weekend.
then
People don't
it's
work
It's
on
like
Heaven's Day.
It's like a calendar week.
The first day of the week, the first day of the week for work generally is Stars Day, through Earth's Day, and then Hell's Day is the first weekend day, and Heaven's Day is the second weekend day.
4-day
4-day work
Heck
week
yeah.
sounds great, dude.
Yeah. Only in your
Still a
fantasies.
2-day weekend. Whatever.
That's right.
You're gonna have to suspend disbelief for that.
Yeah.
3 on 3 off
Heavily.
sounds good to me.
Heavily suspend your disbelief here. That's right. So it's gonna be Hell's Day. So your dad is let's see, what time do you suppose it is? Your
Sarah gets up at he gets up pretty early, maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock.
yeah, your parents are probably sleeping in.
Okay, so he will he'll gently knock on his father's study door,
Mhm.
and hearing no answer, would open it up
Okay.
and go and look on his desk for some of the stationary cards that he would no doubt have for Zeniths, and pick
sure.
out 2 or 3. Write a note on his father's desk explaining, I took a couple of your cards for Topharos for his uncle Zenith today. I asked him yesterday and he did not have one. Your son.
Your son, Sarah Dunwin. Full name.
Esquire.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
And we'll go about making breakfast for the household.
Okay. All right. As the morning unfolds, your parents get up. They head downstairs. You've made a modest breakfast. Sliced some fruit. There's some juice and some milk. Maybe you've made some crepe or some other sort of bread-like addition element to the breakfast. Your mother looks very tired.
Fruit?
Yes, thank you. You were out very late last night, Siri.
I was.
I want you to be careful. You know,
I-
the streets are not always safe.
I'm
Last night
very
we
aware.
had. Do you know your cousin, Thomas? She
I'm
uses
aware,
cousin.
yes.
It's not a family relation. Yeah. He was attacked last night down in First K.
Is that right? Is he
Yes.
alright?
Yes. I was out quite late taking his report. Apparently there were a bunch of kids running around on the First K, and some sort of shadowy roguish figure hurling daggers at people. Office Dan
That
Walker,
is-
probably an addict, if I had to guess, but
Can you imagine things like that actually happening here?
I just want you to be careful and try not to stay out so late. It's just not worth
Of course. Of course, Mother. If it makes you feel any better, I was with Vesserin, and we were escorting Miss Genevieve to her home.
Oh.
She had...
it. So all 3 of you might have been murdered by knife-wielding lunatics.
that is true, but we weren't. And I'm here with crepe.
Thank you, Siri. Yes, apparently
very
Thomas was
welcome.
responding to a window alert. First one this month.
A window?
Yes.
Like-
a magical incident being seen through the lenses from the towers.
Right.
Windows.
That's just very odd.
It is.
Usually...
Yeah, normally we find someone with some kind of contraband wand of fireballs or some nonsense, but this was, well, it was unresolved. Another good reason to be home on time.
Yes, Mother.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, I guess it didn't really occur to me. So nobody responded, like the windows didn't respond to our use of magic after the initial.
Great question. There were definitely guards already heading in your direction because they were the ones
Right.
who heard Captain Firetag screaming when he got hit by a kunai, and then began responding to that little emergency instead. You're not certain. You don't know why those guards may have been headed to the scene. Kijani.
Kijani wakes up and it's the first day of school, and while the grounds do need to be kept,
First day
there
of
will
summer.
not be first day of summer, and while the grounds do need to be kept, there will not be as many scrutinous faculty there, so his mother actually gets to sleep in for the first time in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But as per usual, his father is already awake and attending to the youngest of them. Kijani wakes up, springs out of bed, a little bit more, way more alert than he was yesterday. He kind of like flails his arm around to make sure it's attached correctly, and then he'll run, pick up the scarf and like wrap it around him, and then he like looks in the mirror, doesn't like it, does it again, doesn't like it, and like comes out looking almost like a ninja. Now that he's been attacked by a ninja, survived, he's thinking in his head like it's like vampirism. Now he is a ninja.
Yeah, now that Mason is playing any kind of tabletop game, it's like now he has to be in an anime.
Fine.
You're fully and completely. This character is not like that at all, but he's a kid. He's like, I survived ninja, therefore I am ninja.
Sure.
Comes running out.
Your
and
dad.
he-
Kijoni.
Yes, Papa.
It is supposed to be 109 degrees down here today.
We are plants.
Oh. Yes. Make sure you hydrate. Why are you
Completely
wearing?
incontrovertible.
Why are you wearing a scarf? That
It
brings
was
me to
given
this
me
question.
It was given to me by Evie's mother.
Oh, the little Hexland.
Yes.
Hmm.
It is cute, no? He kind of waddles like a penguin.
It
Better if it's
eccentric.
not ninja. He takes the top hood off, and it just looks like he's wearing a lot of scarf.
Yeah, yeah, so much scarf. Okay, whatever. Just if it gets
Thank
dirty,
you.
I'm not watching it. We don't even have laundry here.
Okay. And he runs up and
Okay.
like tackles his dad in the
Uh-huh.
midsection and just gives him a big hug.
Mhm.
And then kind of lingers longer than normal.
Okay.
And he'll look up and he'll look.
Yes. Something you want
I
to say?
have a hypothetical question.
Okay, Kijoni.
Okay, so
What have you done this?
what if somebody was born with the abilities of the Hexalin but was not a Hexalin?
Kijoni, I thought we had outgrown this 20 questions phase.
No.
Clearly. There hasn't been a Lashy Hexlin in decades.
Okay, yeah, but like not a Hexalin but like a Hexalin.
Are you saying what if they were a person born who just wasn't?
Yeah, like a person born who just wasn't.
Wasn't bound by the Driscoll law?
No.
I don't know why you ask these questions. It is impossible. I guess
Okay.
they would have to be either trained to be a witness or exiled from Astropor. Why does it matter?
He tries very hard not to have his lips start moving. No, it does not matter at all. I just had a question.
Little Kijani, Do not concern yourself with these things in your mind. Your curiosity, it is going to kill you. What do they say? Like the squirrel. Curiosity kills the squirrel, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely the saying.
Okay.
It is in this world. Canon.
Go and see your
Yes.
friends.
Yes.
Make sure you get plenty of sunlight this morning. It's supposed to thunderstorm this afternoon.
Does that mean that we get sunny drink?
Not if you get your sunlight this morning, we can save the sunny drink.
So
I'm not going to give you
inside.
sunny drink when
Okay,
there's
I love
free
you,
sunlight
Dad,
outside.
bye. And he runs out.
Man loves that Sunny D. Let me tell you.
I'm going to
Sunny
give you sunny drink when there's free sunny tea outside.
Can we get "We Are Plants" on a T-shirt? We are plants.
I also-
No, like actual reasoning there. It's just like it's gonna be hot outside. We're playing.
I love that so much.
I like to think. I posted this too. Like I like to think of like as like a cuter Mandrake root from Harry Potter.
Exactly.
Not just how ugly they
Kai.
are, but like
You bang on the door.
Shake the fucking doorknob, just going in.
In short order, Ganyan comes and answers the door. He is just wearing boxer briefs. He's just like, oh yeah, oh yeah, what the damn hell?
Yeah, it's pretty aggressive, first of all, right? And second of all, yeah, let's go.
All right, hold on though. Let me put some pants on.
Yeah, not like this.
Um,
I'll be right here. I'm not gonna watch you dress.
um,
Closes the door and just like waits outside.
Sure. Bestrin, you awaken the next morning. In a big empty home. There's a bit of a bustle going on. All of the servants are in the guest wing, getting the guest wing prepared for visitors.
Vesrin stretches out. It's a queen size bed.
Sure.
4-poster. She pulls the curtain on the
Mhm.
4-poster bed and goes over to her. I don't know.
Bay
what she
window.
has.
She has
Right.
a vanity.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
A wardrobe,
Sure.
and starts looking for any piece of clothing that is both comfortable in extreme heat and also has a very high collar. And she kind of ruffles around and settles on this. It's almost like a sundress, but it has like a very sort of like
Vampire Viscount.
yeah,
collar.
like sort of like a flared out collar that goes
Mhm.
all the way around, and kind of plunges down in the middle, kind of
Mhm.
where her chin is. And she decides on that, and it's very like a structured collar.
Sure.
It almost looks Victorian-esque.
Yes.
And
Elizabethan.
she puts on.
Yeah.
What's that?
The Elizabethan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very
Um,
vampire collar. Sure.
Yeah, and she puts on comfortable like sandals and tries to. This time she is trying to sneak because she doesn't want like her mother to
Mhm.
involve her in the preparation for the ambassador.
Sure. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Okay. This is not gonna go well, but I'm gonna do it. Stealth.
Blind.
Blind. Blind GM.
Yes. Okay. You do manage to, although a couple of servants see you, you kind of like, and you are able to wander out of the house and across the grounds. I guess, what's your plan? Are you headed to the school?
So I will, since I know that Kai is at the school and Ganyan is at the school, I'll probably head to the school. That makes the most sense.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Kijani, are you also heading to the school?
Yeah, like airplaning pretty much the whole way.
Naruto. Run?
Sometimes, no, not Naruto. he's now got this scarf just like bundled around his shoulders because I was bullied out of it. and
What?
sometimes he will make the like noise.
Okay.
Doesn't know what it means.
Sure.
There aren't airplanes, but like he does do that.
Sure.
Or are there?
There are not air. There are not air. There are aircraft. They aren't mechanical airplanes. They would be magically
I
driven,
assume
and they
there
aren't
are
an
like
astroport.
motors, like steam.
Yes, like steamboat power, like steamboat style, like rotaries turned by steam for sure. Not to the point where you've got cars. Per
Yeah,
se.
right. Sure. Arms out,
And you're headed to school.
fully trying to soak in sunlight because he does actually know how much Sunny Drink costs.
Sunny drink. I'm not giving you a sunny drink. That's free sunny outside. Ollie, anything in particular this morning for you?
Yeah, so I feel like me and that butler kind of almost have a working relationship because, like, I get it. You're not, but also like you are like preparing our food and like, or
Yeah.
whoever
and
is.
So like this was probably the butler when your mother was a child here.
Yeah.
He is so over it.
Well, and so like basically, I do my best to make his job easier because I think that I only said I had one. I think that I have now, in my head, thought that I had two sisters. So I have two sisters now.
Yeah.
I also have changed the names because I didn't like the one because I couldn't say it easily. They are also named after flowers now, just to give you a heads up.
Okay.
My older sister, who is not older than me but is the middle child, her name is Marigold, and my other sister's name is Holly.
Okay.
So I'm like getting ready to tend to them, like distract them, so that they're at least not in the way of like, because I don't want to hear crap from him, and I understand it too. He's an adult. He doesn't need this. So like I'm just trying to help him out basically, and usually I let my sisters braid my hair, but today I do not. Today is no, I'm keeping it down today.
Ah, I see. That covers the.
That's my plan to cover
to a
the
degree. Yeah.
because I have longer hair than Will does.
Sure. It's still gonna be so like there's very evident
Yeah.
like, but it's gonna give you some cover from off angles. And you're headed to school.
Yeah, after like wrapping up, getting them like settled, like, hey, okay, you guys have a good day. Stay out of his hair, or don't. I don't really care. If you don't, I want to hear about it later. And
Alright.
I ruffle their hair a little bit, and they get mad, but also get excited because they get to do their hair again.
All right. That brings us to Topheros.
So, Topheros probably awakens relatively early, but is just laying in bed, kind of hoping that today is not the day that today is,
Mm-hmm.
and like is probably gonna like lay in that bed until his aunt probably says calls him to like.
Yeah,
Get out of
your aunt will call up to you from the bottom of the stair. Topheros, your uncle and I are headed out to the gardens. We'll see you later today, okay? You hear the door close.
So Topheros gets up, finds like the lightest. Well, he knows he probably has to dress up somewhat for this, so he tries to find the least amount of like clothes to wear. So he doesn't necessarily want to wear a tie. A shirt that was probably bought for him, some pants that were bought for him that look nice because
In the Astropolis style, with the high fashion
so
today. Yeah.
yeah. And then he puts this very hodgepodge because he probably has the scarf that has. It goes from like being green, some green to like a random pink spot,
Uh-huh.
back to like to red or something. this scarf that we're gonna say that Miss Dubois, it's probably made well, but you know, it's not a pretty scarf. It's an old scarf.
Yes.
So and so he's like, he wears it, and but he has a contingency. He also brings like the idea they had yesterday, like he takes a cardigan that you could like tie around your neck, like at the country club idea. He also brings that just in case, and then starts getting ready. I don't know where does Tofros, his aunt and uncle, live? I'm assuming they live in the Lumen City.
Probably not in the Lumen City, but not too far outside of it. Residential area. Probably no more than like a 15-minute walk outside of the Lumen City. Probably close to where Sari, Sari and Ollie live.
Okay, then what I would probably do is I wouldn't go straight to the gardens. I would go to Sari's house.
Okay.
Optimize free.
All right.
Real quick, I will probably grab a collection of different sheets, like the typical, you know, paper. Well, every piece of paper is paper thin, but you know what I mean. Sheets for that.
There's a market for like perfectly blank postcards, right? For this reason, Zenith cards.
Yeah, I'll grab a collection so that Tofros can choose one.
Okay. Excellent. And you're all making your way to the school?
Yes.
I assume
it wasn't discussed, but that seems like probably something.
I wanted to meet with Gannon already last night, so like, yeah, he's gonna either he's gonna find us or.
So Ollie, Sari, and Tofros are all traveling to the school together.
Okay, perfect. Evie, are you gonna attempt to like spend all day with your friends, or are you spending the day at home and meeting them at the Starlight District?
I feel like since it's the first day of summer and Tofros said we weren't gonna meet up until like 9 o'clock at night, I feel like she would have converted like a basement or a wine cellar into her little lab for all of her tinkerings.
Mm-hmm.
And
much to your parents.
Literally hate, but it's like out of the house kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like with it being the first day of summer and she thinks we're not gonna meet up until later, she's probably just building and tinkering all day until then. So she'll probably hang out at home.
All right. So as sorry, this is gonna be a minute of you just sitting in silence. As the rest of you eventually convene, Tofros, Sari, and Ollie catching up at the cable car station at the base of the mountain, right outside of Lumen City. Kind of waving at one another as you see each other, and you're catching that cable car up the hill. You all hop into one cable car.
Morning.
This is probably the first time you've seen Ollie with his hair not braided, but having it down as well.
Okay.
Did you run out of time this morning, or is this a new look for you?
I didn't want to wear a turtleneck.
That's fair. Toph, I have a few. Don't think too hard about it, but do take one. And he'll hand you 3 different cards. One's completely white, just blank cardstock. One of them's kind of gray with some silver gilding. And then another one of them is just it's white, but it has a dark blue border around it. And if you don't know, you just walk in whenever it's your time with the family. And he'll give you a note. And
what happens to the letters after they're read by the person who's...
Well, I have I have a few from family members that I've known that have ascended and friends.
Above table. Jerry, just make sure you've got it right, and you may. I think I just misheard you, maybe, but the ascendant, the person whose zenith ceremony is occurring, writes you a note, and puts their scent on it, and folds it and hands it back to you, and does that all day for all the people. So
But this is completely fair for Topharos to get that.
Yeah,
That's true.
I completely.
You thought you were writing him a note
to him, and we were like, I'm like, why are we writing a note for? Like, what do we do with the notes? Okay.
No.
And so this is the time. Okay.
Yeah. So most of the time, people will keep them. You know, your uncle will write something on this card, and he'll put a perfume on it, and it'll be something for you to hold on to.
Sorry, are we all together at this point?
About to be. They're writing the cable
okay.
car up.
Okay,
I'm
gotcha.
imagining that you are probably waiting at the top of the cable car for them.
Yeah.
You guys probably talked about this, though we didn't on table. You're just you caught the same scheduled cable car as you would to go to school, so you're all kind of arriving at the same general time per your routines. And that means Kijani is there too. I'm sorry.
So we're not writing a letter to him. Oh.
No, if you'd like to, I know that sometimes people like to write down things they want to say, especially those who haven't grown up here. I recognize it can be a very sad moment, but it's not for him. I would keep that in mind, but
I understand.
But don't, like I said, don't think about it too much. Just choose one, and make sure that you're there and that you're present with him. For people who have lived here, and especially, I assume, for your uncle, it's a very, very happy day. So, here you go. Take these. Here is a scone that a crepe really. I tried to make scones, it didn't work out too well. That I made this morning. And he gives each one of you.
What happened to the pastries from the
Oleander
Dubois
took them.
household? Okay.
Oh, I was assuming that Kai just shoved them into his extra.
Oh, or that. I had also made.
I had a plan
happy
to
to
just
have-
take
I
the
think-
entire bag and hand them to Kai, but I don't actually know if I know about his extra dimensional pockets yet. So,
Are you
That's
giving?
totally. I think that I took 2 and then probably cut the rest of them.
Are you giving Kijani a scone as well?
Oh, 100%. I have made breakfast not only for my family but for all of you as well.
Kijani takes the scone, and this is typical for. This is not the first time you've seen him do this, but he assumes most gifts are hats, and he takes
And for
it
that reason, I made a hat-shaped scone.
and looks at you, and then looks at it, and he's like, "This might be your best work yet." Puts it on.
I thought about
Kijani, it's worth noting that you're capable of, you have the sense of taste.
Oh yeah.
You could
Uh-huh.
you could bite things, you can chew them, you can lick them. You don't need to consume food that way by any means. Or can't even really consume food that way, but you can taste. But this is better. You're right.
I thought you were gonna Cookie Monster it. Realist is what I thought.
It just falls out the side of your mouth as you crumble it in your face. Yes.
That's what eating is, right?
Yeah. Exactly. The cable car comes to a stop at the top, at the station up top, and Vesserin is leaning against the lamppost. And she kind of gets up and turns as the cable car stops, and the 4 of you hop off.
good morning.
Good morning.
morning.
It is a morning, I suppose.
Love the jacket, I suppose. So.
It's more of a dress. Thank you, Siri.
My mother would
Topharos.
say you look very dour. I do not know what that means.
Thank you, Kijani. I don't know that I've ever heard a bright yellow dress be described as dour, but all the
I
same.
believe she said dapper.
Oh, that's the word.
Topharos,
Crepe?
I brought some Zenith cards that you're welcome to choose from, and there is like just a rainbow's worth of different options. I brought like 20. Some are just like plain like primary colors. Some of them are like intricate, almost Baroque designs all over them, etc., etc. And she starts to explain the process much the same way that Siri has already done.
Yeah, this is the point in like a video game where you would just you get a dialogue option. Do you click to interrupt best friend or just let best friend let best friend?
I know how this works.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm sorry. I don't mean to overstep. This really is seen as a joyful experience for the family, but I know that is maybe not how this seems
Hey, Pastor.
for you. Yes. Here are the cards. Please let me know if there's anything I can do for you in this difficult time.
There you go. Good job.
As you all now begin walking down the lane towards the school, you can see Kai and Ganyan basically through the grounds in the quad as you're walking up, and Kai has refused to answer any questions until everybody gets here, basically, because he doesn't want to say anything more than once. And Ganyan's just like furious.
I'm gonna run ahead of everyone else as I see them and it's like, hey, I don't know if you, I think that we were supposed to bring cards for Topers, but I didn't.
I reach into a space that you don't see exists. I think I should. Sorry.
Where'd your hand just go? I don't care.
What the fuck is happening? Ollie, give me some answers.
Oh yeah. By the
Go
way,
in
Ollie,
here.
I already told him that we got teleported, and then we just like immediately teleported back, and hours had passed, and then we got attacked by a ninja. I did tell him
At this
that.
point, the rest of the party catches up, and Ganyan's just like, somebody tell me
Alright.
that he's fucking high.
I'm sorry. What?
I cannot say that he is not, but you have not very adequately described the situation.
Honestly,
that-
Kijani, for once, took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, no.
How does
things
one
like-
do that?
Things did get kind of
It's a
crazy.
Figure of speech. Never mind. That's
There-
what I
Which
was
big
going
guy
to
is
say.
it?
That's what I mean.
Can we talk somewhere that's not just out in the open? Because if we are gonna talk,
It's the first day of summer.
Yeah,
There's
here,
no one
come-
here.
Come on,
it
come
doesn't
on.
matter.
Fine.
I'm walking to my room.
Okay.
I was told to get plenty of sunlight. Your room is inside.
But don't you get the sunny drink when you are inside a lot?
Dad told me not to waste it.
Well, then you can blame me. That's okay.
That's a window, right?
Kijani, yeah, there's a window you can stand by.
I'm gonna put him in the windowsill.
You know that-
posing.
They just like sit
You
on the
know this
windowsill and
song.
kick his feet.
I am Plant.
Yes,
We have planned.
If we get art at some point, Kijani has to be T-posing.
Oh goodness. Yes.
Can we
yes.
actually get art this time instead of thinking
yes.
that we're gonna get art?
Sure. Why don't you? I'll put Chavis in charge of finding an artist.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I tried that once and I didn't like it afterwards, so I spent like $800.
Yikes. Yeah, we're not trying to spend $800. Chavis,
It's
just
a
so you
lot.
know. Not trying to spend $800. Anyway, as you all follow Kai to his dorm room, it's about the size of the room that Lara is sitting in right now. For those of you who have been to my house before, and it has a bed in it, and it's so like
It's an
the-
infinite blue void.
that's.
For his character, that would maybe make sense.
So for the 7 of you to kind of climb in, it's close.
Yeah,
I'm
as I get
sitting
in,
like-
I'm gonna like
I'm
push
sitting, like,
it
on
aside and
the-
just kind of like.
The dresser or chest of drawers.
Yeah. Okay. and Ganyan comes in. First of all, I'm so glad to see all of you all right. Is Evie okay?
She's fine. We escorted her home yesterday evening.
Just watch out for that one.
Vesrin sits down on the floor, like her legs folded under her skirt, kind of. Yeah, exactly.
Pedaled out. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he wasn't lying. We did get attacked last night.
Attacked.
I told.
In the Astropolis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saradwin almost died.
Oh yeah.
So did I.
Yeah,
That's
let me see your
crazy.
arm.
Why have you?
Kicking speed.
So you're in Nikoi's basement.
And
That's the last I heard of it. I was. Oh. Tofros. He reaches into his bag and pulls out. A thin brown paper wrapped square. Like I described, he got it from Nikoi's place, and he passed it to you. And it looks like it might be just the right size for like a stack of cards.
At this point, I am furiously looking for just like a balled up piece of paper in Kai's room.
As you
will
take it from
find
him,
balls
though,
up pieces of paper.
your hand touches it and you realize it's not at all. It's glass. There's glass under the paper. You can feel it. It's smooth and hard. Go ahead, open it. Oh, it's awkward when you open it now with everyone's watching you.
Just told
sorry.
him to open it.
I know.
You just asked him.
I say
Well,
as
I
I'm
didn't realize
kind
it was
of
going to be so
flattened out
weird because
from
now
a
it's
piece of
like
paper.
all of us are so close in this room, and you open it and it is a it's a glass square. It's about a half an inch thick. It's like 4 by 6, 4 inches by 6 inches. And it's got runes all on the outside carved into it.
Do I know what this is?
Make an Arcana check.
Arcana. Blind.
You don't recognize it.
Well, what is it?
I thought you would recognize it.
Well, so did I.
It's a moment lens. You can hold it up and activate it, and it captures what you're looking at through it from one side, like a painting, a perfect image. So you can remember a moment always.
I
ordered it from
Does it-
Baonaya.
Does it only work once, or?
Well, technically you can wipe it and use it again, but
I see, but
well, then you wouldn't
can't-
have them.
you
one.
can't store multiple moments on
No.
a single lens. I see.
No.
Okay.
It's like an instant painting, basically, instant portrait.
Bezrin immediately starts trying to work out like how one might store multiple moments on a single lens.
Okay.
Like just to herself, like just
Sure.
her eyes kind of gloss over a little bit, like.
I thought since
Thank you.
this is something new for you. You're not familiar with the culture. You might want to have something, I don't know, something a little more tangible than a note.
Thank you.
Kijani kind of daydreaming on the windowsill. Baonaya, that is where the monkey man was from, yeah.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna get into that then, I guess.
I'm sorry, Eve. The monkey man.
Yes, the really old
Venara.
one.
You saw Venara?
Yeah. Yeah, we've not got into like the actual things that happened to us yet.
All right. Start from the beginning.
So,
And
you've read
from
any
that-
comic books?
I assume that you all give him a detailed description of what happened.
Mhm.
I use comic
Yes.
books as reference points.
Okay. Sure.
Kai doesn't apologize for omitting information.
Is would he be aware of the blue collars? No. Okay, that's only information that we have because of Evie.
Yes. Correct.
Okay. Just curious.
So you're saying? You're all mad. You're all bloody mad, you are.
Well, I'm not
Um,
that angry.
To prove it, I will grab the piece of paper that Ollie's been flattening out, crumple it back up, shove it into into my little space.
God damn it. Topher, I'm
What-
sorry, I don't have anything for you.
And then I'll grab it back out. I will promptly pull it back out and give it to Ollie then to continue his work.
Oh, it's just a piece of paste.
It's really okay.
It's like
really okay.
it's like chemistry notes from Kai's chemistry class. Very poorly done. Kai hates chemistry. I've just decided.
I already know all that you would ever need to know about chemistry.
That's kind of true. Damn. But you're all saying the same thing. What? How did you do that?
Canyon.
Well,
You
We
can't
just
push
told
me.
you.
You will not be able to move me.
Actually, try.
Try, push. Hard as you can. Run into me.
I wonder if doing any of this is going to attract the attention of the windows again.
Ooh, I feel like I have a
well-
fever.
If so, this, I can't turn this off. I can't stop doing this.
Well, so the windows are always looking, but I mean, minor magical stuff is happening all the time in the city. I mean, I've got
What?
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out like what we would call like a flashlight. It's just a stone rod with a rune at the end, and he turns it on. I mean, there's magic.
Oh.
The windows pick up magic all the time. It's magic.
Johnny can do that.
Oh yeah, but okay. So if we're not worried about the windows very much, then look how useful I
Well,
can
wait,
be. And
pause,
he stands
pause,
up and he
no, pause,
he
no,
he
no.
poses and then disappears except for the
No.
Except for the scarf, you choose to make the scarf.
Well, it's just my body, right? The light around me bending, or does it also apply?
It would
to
affect
clothes?
things you're carrying. Remember that I
Okay.
designed the
Close
features
to you.
before I knew who was gonna get them.
Oh,
That'd be a
sure.
pretty useless feature on any of the other characters who right wear clothes. all
I
day.
have to get
So then
naked.
the scarf also then disappears.
Yes.
I mean,
half-
My Hero Academia definitely has a full-on character
Right,
that has
yeah.
that power.
Yeah.
That's actually true.
Great.
They did that
Great
in the first
character, by the
Fantastic Four
That's-
movie, too.
That's incredible, and you're not using any kind of. You're not using like an invisibility cloak or anything.
He doesn't
No.
wear clothes.
He's
Kijani hops
nude
down
almost
and
all
then
of the
like
time.
walks
Do you
over to
realize
Ganyan
what this
and like
means?
starts climbing up Ganyan, and he's like, "Yes, it means that I can be very sneaky when I want to be." He just keeps climbing up.
If you can use magic, and apparently you've got these different colors, and you said that you were able to tie up Ollie.
Shut up. I threw a knife at somebody.
That means that you're not under the Triska law.
No,
That's
don't.
That's...
I like look at Kijani. I like try to look for Kijani.
I come back visible.
Oh,
That would be the implication, yes.
Just means you.
That's correct.
Now on Ganyan's shoulder.
We've really only proven
This is not.
We've really only proven our immunity to 2 of the 3.
You'll have to wait a fucking long time to prove the last, won't you?
That's the point I was trying to make.
How long do leshies live outside of
100
Astroport?
years. Oh.
I don't know. I've never met a Leshy outside of Astroport.
Yeah, I've never not been here, so...
Me neither.
What if I die tomorrow?
Tovros, how long do Leshies live in Kazabazor?
Technically,
I don't see Leshies die very often, so
Leshies could live forever.
Kijani looks like amazed.
Are you the keeper of Leshi lore?
No, you just, as you go through the university, you will have books to read, and you should read them and learn them well.
I will be the keeper of Leshi lore?
You can be the keeper of all lore.
Oh, that's really scary, actually.
It is.
I
But
think-
you don't have to be.
I mean,
Okay.
that means that, like, Ollie and Vess, Siri, you might live longer than a witness. 800 years or more.
I thought it was just a myth.
It's Ollie, it's not a myth.
Wait,
Elves
no, there's-
outside of
There's a reason that
Guys.
elves rule over Veonia. It's a fucking dynasty.
In other cultures, elves aren't even considered to be adults until they're past their first century.
at least.
That sounds awful. Maybe we made a mistake.
Well,
I don't know if we made any decisions in any of this.
I think a mistake was thrust upon us.
This is too much to take in. Look, let's take this one thing at a time. Tovros, we've got your Uncle Zenith today. Let's wrangle that. Try and cope with all of our many emotions, like being left out of magical endeavors and secret
It wasn't our
tunnels.
choice.
Wait, you're upset? Are you upset? that you got
Secret
left out?
tunnel!
And let's try and get through all of our emotions. And then tomorrow, actually it'll be Stars Day. On Stars Day, 2 days from now, I've got a job for us. So maybe your new talents will come in handy. This one's pretty important for me. I'm sorry to drag all of you into it, but I could really use your help. I've got to make a good impression.
Have you got any details?
I will have. Again, one thing at a time. Trust me, very similar to what we normally do. This is just a new client. And if I make a good
But
impression...
is it possible you could ask them to make us all special high collar jackets?
I don't have that kind of relationship with them. They're going to pay us for a job.
Well, I figured you could ask.
But
We
I
were
need to make a good
attacked
impression
by a
because I'm-
ninja. I think that means that we are enabled to be ninja. How that
No,
works,
you're
right?
thinking vampires. It's vampires, Kijan.
What is the difference?
Well,
Oh,
so...
They are both creatures of the night. Just got a point.
They both wear black. They do not
I
like
have
to be in the sun.
did we have? Am I making this up, or do we have some indication that he might have also been the snake race that I am uncomfortable saying?
He
Off the top of
spoke
my head.
Veo.
Nagaji?
Yeah.
No. The ninja?
Yeah.
You have no idea. He may or may
Okay.
not have been. He definitely had 4 limbs. He wasn't like... So Nikoi is the kind of Nagaji that has...
A tail.
He's a serpentar.
Mhm.
He's a snake from the waist down. But not all Nagaji are. Some of them are just like serpent-like scales, but have... So he very well could have been Nagaji, but
Yeah,
you
I
have no
think that
indication.
Mason said the thing that made me think that.
No, vampires and ninjas totally different.
Although, I suppose a vampire could be a ninja. Probably
Sure,
would
I
make a
suppose.
very effective ninja, in fact.
Wait, are we saying that
really
this whole
excellent
time
comic book.
ninjas and vampires have been the same thing?
No, we're not saying that.
Are
not
you
saying
say,
that.
win
no,
it?
you
Saying
are
that.
very
Question.
clearly saying that we are not ninja.
We
No.
We are
aren't
also
ninja.
saying that.
But who would win in a fight? 50 ninjas or 50 vampires?
Oh,
50
50 vampires.
vampires.
Oh,
50
dang.
vampires.
There's no
Vampires.
question. Siri,
Unless
don't
they
be
were just
ridiculous.
like
In a fight.
mistakes or
Alright,
something.
50
50
ninja
vampires,
vampires
50
or 50
ninjas.
regular vampires?
50. No, hear me out. 50 vampires, 50 ninjas working together versus 50 vampire ninjas.
With
Well,
50
obviously
vampire
the
ninjas
50
win.
vampire
Obviously,
ninjas
yes, it's
would win.
compounding, right? If they're vampire ninjas, they're gonna win the whole kit and boodle.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. What will happen there is that the 50 vampires will make their 50 ninjas into ninja vampires. So now they have 50 vampires, 50
But that
vampire
is
ninjas
done
against
before
the
the
50.
that is
Now
done
you've got
after the fact.
100 ninja vampires
50
against 50 regular.
You're assuming that all like cooperate and work
You
together.
misunderstood.
I think it'd be like 50 ninjas against one vampire might be an even.
That I agree
Johnny's
with.
like
I don't
aggressively
think so.
scratching his scone hat now. I do not
So
understand.
okay,
You have to think about action economy though. There's like 50 kunai going after one
Yeah,
vampire.
yes, but
It
he's
could
a
only
vampire.
move-
How
Well,
many
think about how
dogs
his
are there?
armor class
Kunai-
probably is.
He
the
how many
kunai
kunai
are not.
Good.
If the kunai are not made of wood, they'll be ineffective.
exactly, and he can dodge all of them.
But they could be blessed. They could have water. They could be a cleric.
You didn't
Ninja,
say
this-
that.
this
though.
no-
That was not part
but
of
there-
the
Cleric
There's
ninjas.
no-
Cleric
It's not
ninjas.
part of-
No, that's different.
I'm just saying. Usually ninjas are very well prepared. They would know
What about
who
alright,
they're going
alright,
after.
5 cleric ninja vampires walk into a bar.
That sounds.
That sounds painful.
um. So
I feel like this argument goes
Takes
on for another half
another
hour.
yeah takes a good part of the rest of the
This
day.
is the most realistic, like.
Sounds like argument. Yeah, it's discussion.
This is the most realistic, bunch of teenage guys hanging out in somebody's room that we've done so far.
Excuse me.
and Vesper.
Oof. I said what I said.
Just
So-
one of the bros.
That's right. Always lumped in with the guys. I'm willing to skip ahead to like 9 p.m. unless you guys have daytime things that you'd like to do.
And a card
No.
for
If you
So
want to
frozen.
break out a deck of cards and play actual cards with you here on stream.
I mean, Tofros is actually now has choice paralysis because he's been offered so many options for cards.
About
And he was
about
not
23.
expecting.
Yeah.
He was not expecting all the options.
You also do have Kai's chemistry notes if you wanted them.
True. If
I
you
think
look
he-
at them, you were thoroughly disappointed with Kai.
I think he like
It's like the name of the compound and then like a couple of smiley faces connected with lines.
Yep.
I think he ends up picking like one that Sari gave him because in the back of his mind, if he picks one from Vess, that means Vess is gonna ask him to do something at some point later, and he doesn't want to have to be beholden to that. So it's like there are 3 options. I think it was like there was a plain white card that he got.
And it's got like the texture of like pressed pulp page,
Mhm.
like not perfectly smooth paper.
Mm. So yeah, I'm fine with skipping forward.
All right.
That's fine.
Awesome. You guys hang out at the school. You happen to see Kajani's mother out and stop and say hi. She comes to work that day to work on the grounds. She seems a little bit confused as to why all of you are here hanging out at school on the first day of summer, but doesn't really make anything of it. Eventually, you all make your way back down into the Lumen City and head over to pick up Evie. It's around 8:30 in the evening. The sun is getting low, but not quite set at 8:30 in the dead of summer. And it's that kind of like golden hour moment. The Consular Court building is radiating as the horizontal rays of sunlight cutting through the mountains from the west just plunge through that pink quartz dome, and it's just kind of that casting that light throughout the city. As you head down Cherry Tree Lane to the Kensington apartment where the Dubois make their home. Evie is probably sitting on the stoop waiting.
With some kind of snack. Who knows?
Yes, and a little bit of chocolate smeared on her lip.
Yep. Hi guys, I've been waiting for you all day. I built a lot in my shop, and then I kind of started a little fire, and Mom told me I couldn't do it anymore. So I've been sitting out here for like 3 hours.
Oh,
I'm really glad you're here.
I wish we could have known somehow.
It's okay. I didn't really get in trouble. I mean, I got in a little bit of trouble, but then Ozzy started making a fuss, and I kind of slipped out the back, so it's fine.
I think that you might find good use of making something to put out fires.
Yeah, I had that thought too, but I didn't have it until after the fire had already started, so it's on my to-do list for tomorrow.
It's called hindsight. Very good.
She's like, oh.
Evie, giving a quick cursory glance around your compatriots, they are all variously covered with degrees of success. None of them would pass an intense inspection, but seen from a distance, from the side or behind, all of them would pass. Specifically, like Kai, I guess are you wearing a scarf, or are you just YOLOing it?
So I would have brought the scarf with me, but I'm gonna attempt, now that I'm with Evie, to like ruffle my feathers out and see if like feathers just being disheveled will cover it.
Not quite sufficient. It's still kind of like, it almost looks like now you're wearing jewelry that is nestled amongst the feathers. It like peeks through.
Okay. Yeah. Then I will just scarf it up.
Okay.
You guys look fine. Maybe just don't stand in like wide open spaces, because I can still see your.
Johnny is.
Ganyan's like, oh, you mean the collars? Oh, I thought you were just complimenting me, Evie.
Oh, no, you're fine, Ganyan. Standing in wide open spaces probably isn't a great idea anyway. But I would just don't draw too much attention to yourself, because I can still see your colors, and I know to look for them, but also, even Kijani all wrapped up, I can still see yours, pal.
I slowly like push down Kijani's arms, like, hey bud, it's 9 p.m.
You can. I keep thinking of the kid in the
moon
Christmas
reflects
story.
sunlight as well.
I can't put my arms down.
I don't know enough to tell you that you're wrong, that that's gonna help you, but I think that you are.
I mean, it doesn't make it worse, but I don't think it does. So.
Now, Kijani's is probably the most concealed, because he is smaller, and so relatively the scarf is much larger on him. Veterans isn't probably next. It covers it pretty well, but there's a peak of it at the nape, opposite of nape. Your front nape. I don't know what that part.
Wait,
Most people call that.
I don't want to know what that means.
Your fape. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do the faking stuff.
That made it much better.
Vaping.
Much better.
From now on, I'm no fape.
Oh,
I have no faith that that's gonna work.
Johnny, does your scarf mess up your sun time, or is it still okay?
No, that is why I have had my arms out all day, so that I can get maximum sunlight without having to take off my scarf.
You didn't take any Sunny D juice today?
I was told I could not waste it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Just want to make
It is
everybody say
very
sad things.
expensive, and my father told me it is going to rain the next couple of days. So we will need it for when that happens. It's
Oh yeah, so on this day, around like 3 or 4, as you all were hanging out, goofing off, a thunderstorm rolled through. It rained briefly.
Did it knock out your power and your internet too?
No.
Are we good to like keep playing? I am personally, but it is 10.
Oh, that's true. We can definitely call it here
Asking
and start.
The rest.
Start.
If you're good, put a thumbs up in the.
Yeah, no,
I'm good.
no shame if we need to call it, or we can.
I would unfortunately need to go because of early morning tomorrow.
Yeah, no worries. And it's important that you're here for this.
Okay.
So we'll start our next session. I intended for this. I should have known that. I always need to plan for extra time between as you guys just start goofing off. But I love that. You guys are great. So next session
50
we will have.
vampires.
That's gonna be the name of this
We're
session.
not
Will.
ninjas.
When you upload this to YouTube, 50
Ninja
vampires
vampires.
versus 50 ninjas.
That's right. Name of episode.
So we'll catch all of you guys next week, same time, same place, for the Zenith ceremony of Tofros's uncle. Thanks for coming out. You guys are great. Bye, Twitch.
Bye, Twitch.
Bye, Twitch.
Bye,
Bye,
Twitch.
Twitch.